So how you been? Talk to me, bro. How you been? I know it's been difficult during the quarantine time, but how are you
Yeah.
mentally, physically? Like, what you been up to?
Well, since the start of it, the first week away from football, obviously, you're just waiting on a bit of news to see what's going on, really. But we've generally been given like schedules, programs, little things to do daily, really, until
Yeah.
I think it was a couple of days ago now, where they just says kind of have a 3 weeks or 2 weeks break, and then they'll start sending more things across to us just to rest our minds a bit, because we still have 10 games left in it. So, but that's why it's been at the moment, just relaxing and staying safe indoors as well.
Sounds good, man. What I know from footballers, they always like stick to kind of like a strict routine. You know what I mean? Like it's very, very disciplined. So like, have you been finding it quite difficult to kind of stay on track, or have you kind of just adapted to being at home?
Yeah, I've kind of adapted to being at home, to be fair, because obviously I've got the little one as well, and I time everything throughout the day of what I need to be doing, what times I can do certain things. I tend to do things in the morning, which is a lot better. You have the rest of the day to do the rest of the things that you've got planned out. But yeah, I've just been, I think staying active definitely has been helpful, keeping your mind ticking over and stuff. But there's a lot more things that we can do outside of football as well.
Talk to me about the food, because I'm hearing like a lot of footballers, they're missing out. They're like taking one meal out during the day, maybe because obviously they're not able to train as hard. So like, talk to me about what you're eating and stuff. Are you still eating the same stuff, or?
For me personally, I've lost a bit of my appetite. I'm starting to eat a lot less, to be honest. Normally 3 meals a day, but now more like having fruit, probably 1.5 meal that I can really squeeze in, because of the lack of, well, not as much intensity going into my exercise as I'm used to in training and stuff. But no, it's you just gotta know yourself and adapt to it, really. But you gotta look after yourself at the same time as well. As long as you're staying fit and you know what you're doing.
What's the contact like with the club and stuff? Are they keeping in contact, making sure that you guys are okay? And like, do you still speak to your teammates as well?
Yeah, we've obviously got a group chat, and everyone still talks a lot as well. And any information that gets sent over, we just know straight away, of course. But yeah, we've got a Zoom going as well. Exercises in the morning that we recently started. Not everyone's joining it, but as long as we know everyone's safe and stuff, everyone, it should be all right. But we do this thing in the morning where we kind of got to just tick a couple of boxes to see how we're feeling for as soon as we wake up, kind of thing, just so they know that we're all right.
So cool. I wanted to get into kind of like your life story a little bit. Obviously, I read about that you were born in Sierra Leone, and then after that you moved over to Holland. So how long was you in Sierra Leone for?
Until I was 6. But I was born in Sierra Leone, but grew up in Guinea-Conakry.
Oh, nice.
Sierra Leone, obviously, for my mother, there was a hospital. That was the best place for her to go to hospital at the time. So yeah, I was mainly grew up in Guinea-Conakry, which is where my dad's from. But yeah, I left there when I was 6 years old. Went over to Holland, where my dad was already at the time, and one of my older sisters. And I was there till I was 10 years old. And I moved into England.
So what was the transition like when you moved over to Holland? Because obviously new environment, new language. What was it like just moving over there and kind of growing up over there?
I think because I was still young, obviously still young, the majority of my time that I remember there, it's always been the fun part. Playing, that's where I kind of started playing football properly. But no, I think growing up in Holland, with all my siblings there as well at the time, I think that was a great time there. And some of my brother still lives there, both of them. And I think it was a good time for me at the time over there, and I started my football there. So definitely, I would go back happily.
So what would you say your favourite position is? Because I've seen like where the managers put you this season, and obviously you play as a forward, but you've been playing in different positions. Like sometimes you might play as an attacking midfielder, or you might play up top. Like, where do you prefer to play?
Up front as a striker, whether it's 1 or 2. I think it just depends on the formation that we're actually playing as a team. But I think it's been able to. I've done it throughout Walsall as well when I was at Walsall. But I think the thing is, I can play out wide. I can obviously mix it around. I just give different things, to be honest. And as soon as you just get on the pitch, you wanna be able to give something to the team, and no matter where I'm playing, I'm kind of wanting to do that, to be honest. But I would prefer to play up front.
So what age did you move over to England then?
When I was 10.
When you was 10, and did you? Because I know you started your youth career at Walsall. So did you move straight to Walsall when you moved over here?
No, I started in Kingston. I don't know if you know Kingston up in Birmingham.
Okay.
I went to it was just a Sunday league team that my cousin invited me to at the time, called Football Futures. I went to, and just started off there. Really played with people around the area, really kids that I knew, and just started off Sunday league. And then they had connections. We had the guy that had connections with Wolves, Villa, and Walsall, of course. And I went to all three of the clubs for trials, and obviously I weren't good enough at the time to go into Wolves or Villa. And it worked out at Walsall at the end, luckily. So
when you're like kind of at the age where you're a teen, pretty much all my friends just wanted to be footballers, in it, but obviously we can't all make it. So like, what was your personality like, and just did you think you were gonna make it?
You know what? It wasn't even mine to it wasn't even fully in my mind saying I'm gonna make it. I'm for sure gonna go and make sure that this happens. It was more of like, let it happen if it happens, kind of thing. Even when I left year 11, I didn't have much plan, to be honest. But I knew I was obviously good at the game, and I thought, them trials at the end definitely made me push for it, because I thought this is either a last chance or, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't in my mind, like, I want to go and do this. I kind of just let it happen for itself, because I could have been doing something else like that now, and who knows where it would have taken me. But I'm definitely grateful and lucky at this point, to be honest.
So obviously you signed your first professional contract with Walsall, little town just outside of Birmingham. You played over 100 games for them. Now that ain't easy at all to get 100 games for a team. So what's the attachment like with Walsall? You must have like some personal attachment with them. So like with the club, the fans, just the town in general. How does Walsall make you feel? Like when you think back to those days, do you have good memories?
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of memories. First and foremost, I'm grateful for them giving me that opportunity, of course. And it was Dean Smith as well, who's Villa's manager at this moment in time. But that was a great journey, I think, from coming from the youth team, coming as the first Sunday league player out of the youth team system. Because most of the boys was obviously, they've been to Villas, they've been to all them clubs, and kind of know the characteristics or how to carry themselves around the place. Whereas I come fresh as a Sunday league player, and I didn't. Most of them probably thought I weren't even going to get the professional contract at all, but I ended up being the first one to get it very early on as well in my second year there. But man, I think I've had a really good time there. I developed myself a little bit, but I don't regret nothing at all. But I still think being there, I could have learned so much more. If it had been a case of having of course, we didn't have enough coaches, or shall I say, enough experienced coaches fully that was there personally to guide me into, being this type of player that I wanted to develop myself into. And it took a really slow step for me to get going there. And I had a good first season, full on scoring 10 goals in my first full season, coming on every now and then. And the season after that, I really wanted to get going, thinking, this fully could be me. And then, of course, I've got to learn from myself day to day and training. But I think in terms of the staff there and stuff like that, there wasn't enough help for me to kind of push myself really on. From what I'm looking back at it now, but no, I definitely love the times, and I'm definitely grateful for everything that they've actually done for me, to be fair, starting off the career.
I know you went on loan a couple of times as well. What's it like as a player going on loan? Because obviously some players may feel like they're not wanted, or they might just feel like they just need some time away from the club. What was it for you when you went on loan? How did that kind of help you grow as a player?
To be honest, I didn't really ever wanted to go on loan. I never wanted to be that player to go on loan at the time, thinking, you just think at the time, they're pushing you away kind of thing. Especially because I made my debut like in my second year as scholar, and I thought, surely I'm going to kick on from here now. But, as I reached 18, 19, just telling you to go on loan, you're thinking you took a step back again now. But in a way, it's not like that at all. It definitely helps you going into a man's game and having the responsibility of getting the 3 points and, helping carrying a team, really feeling the weight on your shoulders kind of thing. And I think it did develop me, and it did definitely help me going forward, for sure.
So what about your international career then? Because I've read a couple stuff that you've turned down a few offers from Sierra Leone, but you're also like eligible to play for Holland and England now, isn't it? So have you had much thought about your international career, and would you like to represent a nation one day? Yeah,
I have thought about it. With the Sierra Leone, it was more or less talking to my parents about it, and if as long as my mum's, as soon as my mum's not comfortable with something or she's not ready for it, even though it's my decision at the end of the day, I feel like her input was really had a lot to do with that as well. But yeah, I chose not to right now, as of I still want to develop myself and get to the highest level as I possibly can do, hopefully in the next 2 years or 3 years, whatever it may be, and see where I am then, and then I might end up making a decision, or things will happen for itself generally. But that's why I just stand with it as well. But yeah, we'll see at the time, to be honest.
All right, so right now you're at Coventry City, moved there in 2018, so you've been there for about 2 years now. This season you lot have been smashing it. You lot have been doing so well, top of the league. I don't think you guys have lost a game since like December. So when the news came out that they had to suspend all the leagues and stuff, what was the morale in the camp like, with the players and yourself? What was the reaction?
Yeah, everyone, like being in the change room, I remember everyone was just quite shocked and a bit of disbelief. But then when you get to find out what the situation is, or what the outcome is, or why this is actually happening, and you see the bigger picture of it, and it's a worldwide, obviously, problem that needs solving, and you see the bigger picture of it, and you think that comes first, regardless of anything that's going on. But yeah, it definitely did hurt a bit, especially knowing that this is my first season, like being at the top of the table like this, and things are going quite well. But no, obviously, there's a lot more important things in football at this moment in time.
I think like in the table, the top 7 is like really tight. I think even like 7th place can still finish in the top 2. But obviously you guys have been on such a good run. When do you think like the team started to believe that we could actually get promoted this year?
Well, it got from what I remember last season. At the end of last season, I had a meeting obviously with the manager, and it was obviously saying that he wants me to kick on. He wants everyone to kick on for the next season. And he weren't messing about as well. You can tell by his face what he was going off, and you can feel his energy kind of thing. And when you got that energy feeding off you, you know straight away that next season you're coming in for a big one. And of course, and I think we've started from game one. It's been a good journey straight away, to be honest. And we've got the right kind of team morale. We've got the right players around us. I think it's clicked like really well, to be honest. We've got the right people around each other, and the team's doing really well, regardless of who's playing or who's not playing. Everyone's just doing well, to be honest, which is quite lucky to be in a change room like this.
Well, that's the end of it, actually, for the interview, Ro. So I really appreciate you joining me for it. Thank you for your time. Hopefully we get football back, because honestly, I'm missing it so much.
Mad, definitely.
But yeah, once we get it back, just good luck for the rest of your career as well. And hopefully we can speak again soon, man.
Literally. Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, man. Take care, bro.
All right, cool.
Cheers.